One. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, one and all, and welcome to the 12th edition of the Caps Locks and Chair Shots podcast. My name is Eber Keane. I am a feature writer for RealSport101.com. Along with me is the muscle of the podcast, future voice of the Philippines and hopeful MMA fighter, the one, the only, the Jaime. Say hi to the people, Jaime.
What's up, wrestling fans? Straight out of Philippines, let's talk about wrestling.
And joining us as well is Dan.
Come on, we went through arbitration. Let's do it the right way.
Okay, well, since you brought it up, with us as always is the real Danny D, another feature writer for the baseball section and wrestling section of RealSport101.com. Now, he brought up arbitration, and it is as follows. I am not legally able to try the real Danny D for any of the supposed crimes he's committed. However, through arbitration, Dan will now be, after today, our indie correspondent, where he will come on from time to time and give us an update about all things indie wrestling. If we have time, if I decide to talk to him, if I let him on the show, he'll be here. Dan, any thoughts before we actually start in earnest?
You know, it's just great to see you have to swallow your pride every once in a while and just be the true, indie guy that I am.
Okay, well, do your job then. What made you a wrestling fan this week?
Watching some Being the Elite on YouTube. I guess maybe SmackDown. There's a pay-per-view this weekend, I think. There's some stuff on Flow Slam I might watch instead.
I heard there was a match, Kenny somebody and some Japanese guy. What?
Yeah, Omega Okada 2 happened. 60-minute draw. Great.
Okay, that's enough about that. Jaime, what made you a wrestling fan this week?
Well, don't have to ask. The Miracle in Mumbai.
Be more specific.
Okay, so the X Division Championship match between Loki and Sanjay Dutt, sorry. So, X Division match, Loki versus Sanjay Dutt. That's what the X Division is all about. That's what the X Division was and what it should be.
Jaime?
Yeah.
You took my thing. I was going to go strong. It was a terrible week for the WWE. It was really a terrible week outside of maybe 4 matches and a segment from wrestling completely. And I was going to go with Sanjay Dutt, but I didn't because you took it from me. I don't know if anything made me a fan this week besides maybe Breezango and the Fashion Files. I think it was the shortest one. It's probably the worst one they had, but it's still comparatively better than everything else the WWE has put out. There was a lot of bad this week. A lot of bad. The Sony 6 Battle Royale, that was just it was rough to watch, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's terrible.
yeah. And then what came of Raw? Dan, do you have any memories of Raw? Anything that happened?
So, I'm actually trying to think. I think my favorite segment was seeing Emma come back and hopefully she can stay healthy. I think that was my favorite thing that actually happened on Raw.
Okay. Well, we have just received word that we are joined by our 4th member, my tag team compatriot. You know him on YouTube and whatever other social media as the Unfunny Comedian. He's Alex. Say hi to the people and tell us what made you a wrestling fan this week.
Hello, my computer is a giant trash heap, and Kenny Omega versus Okada.
Oh my god, we just went over this, Alex. I know you're coming in late. I get it. You'll be reprimanded for it later.
Okay, I'll pick something else then. The Bullet Club versus Roppongi Vice and Chuck Taylor in Ring of Honor.
You know, I try to be a good guy. I try to be nice. I try to be a good person, a good Catholic, a good Christian, but when stuff like that is said, it makes me want to do horrible, disgusting, violent things to people.
It makes me smile.
You're one of those people I want to do the horrible, disgusting, and violent things to, Dan. But I can't because we've reached an agreement. So we're going to move on. Let's jump straight away into it. Money in the Bank is Sunday. 5 matches are on the card. Let's talk about them. Jaime, break it down. Let's go with what I think probably will be the first match. The Women's Championship, Lana, because she's deserved the title shot, is taking on Naomi. Break it down for me.
Well, Lana, I'm not sure about her in-ring ability because the last match I saw her in was terrible, but we don't know. She's been gone for quite some time, and I think Rusev is by her side since Rusev's on the sideline, so I don't know how much improvement would it be. Would she be able to put up with an athletic female like Naomi? Or I'm not. I'm pretty curious about this match.
All right, let's get our picks. Jaime, who wins?
I'll go with Naomi.
Alex, Lana, Naomi. You have to pick.
I'm gonna go with whoever wins the Money in the Bank match.
No, that's not it. You have to pick one or the other. We ain't doing this halfway crap. Pick one.
Alright, Lana.
Okay. Dan, thoughts? Who wins?
Naomi. But I just want to say, if Lana can give us half the talent that Eva Marie came to give us, this might be an okay match.
No, it's not going to be an okay match. It's going to be a terrible match. It's going to be a terrible way to start a pay-per-view. It's going to be terrible. This could be as bad as pick a Kevin Nash Hulk Hogan match.
I don't think this kicks off the show, by the way.
Yeah, I'm looking at Wikipedia, and it actually has it listed as the main event.
I can guarantee you that's not going to be the main event.
More of the match before the main event.
That's not possible. But then then you have to kick off. You're either going to have consecutive Money in the Bank matches, or you kick off with a Money in the Bank match, and I don't think that's smart either. I'm going to go with Naomi
I think they're kicking off with a tag team match.
See, I would think that would be more of a palate cleanser than between the Money in the Banks, but that's why I don't run the show. I'm going to go, and there's a reason I'm going to pick Naomi here, is because, now think about this. The WWE put a Twitter message out yesterday saying 6 men will compete, 6 women will compete. Now, there's only 5 women announced for this match. The loser of the Women's Championship match, which I believe has to go on before the Women's Money in the Bank match, will be that 6th woman. Am I wrong? Or do we maybe see a Nikki Bella return? Maybe Asaka or Asuka or whatever you want to call her from NXT come up. Do we see a Nikki Bella come back? Dan? Dan? We can't hear you, Dan. You have to speak clearly into the microphone.
Do we see a Paige? Do we see a Paige return?
I'm going to resist the urge to make an Xavier Woods reference or Brad Maddox reference, and I'm just going to say no. Alex, do we see a return? Or is this just a typo by the WWE?
There have been reports, and I'm not sure how valid they are, but there have been reports that we will see a return of Maria Kanellis-Bennett.
No,
oh, wow, that would be awesome. And if that would be awesome.
God, I hope not.
You believe in miracles?
No, no.
I believe in the miracle.
No. What, the Milan Miracle? Does that mean we're going to see Santina? Santino Marella could be in the Money in the Bank match? Please, let the Milan Miracle return. All right, moving right along. You brought up the tag team match. Let's talk about it. Dan, who's winning that match? Say that again.
New Day.
You know what? I think your phone may be rebelling against you because you suck that hard. You're breaking up pretty.
New Day.
There you go. New Day.
New Day is going to win this match.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you decided to be an active participant. Your phone cooperates. Alex, who's your pick? New Day or who they're facing? The Usos.
New Day.
Alex? Or, I'm sorry, Jaime?
I'm going with the Usos.
All right, I'm going to take... I don't care. New Day, I guess. Just for the sake of picking somebody, I'll go with New Day because they rock. But then I want Breezango so bad to be in the title picture, and they're not going to be in the title picture with New Day. SmackDown's got a good tag team division, but it's going to get screwed up, I'm afraid. Let's move right along. Which one do you guys want to do next? Which Money in the Bank, or do you want to do the WWE?
Get that shitty title match out of the way.
Okay. Let's go with the WWE then. Let's go to Alex. Your turn. Break down the WWE Championship. Who wins?
I don't know. I'm going to have to say Jinder because, stay the course. That's what they've been doing with Roman Reigns, so stay the course.
Okay. Follow-up question. If Jinder wins when John Cena returns July 4th, does John Cena become a 17-time world champion? That's a yes. Alrighty. Jaime, who's your pick?
I see. My pick's Jinder.
Can't hinder the Jinder, right?
Yeah, can't hinder the Jinder.
There you go. Dan, I know how you're going to pick, and if it was you, I'm pretty sure you'd kill them both and be the champion yourself. Give me a winner.
The 4-move master over the 5-move kingpin. Jinder Mahal is going to beat Randy Orton.
Okay, so I'm going to collect money from all three of you guys because the winner of this match and new old WWE champion, Randy Orton. We're in his hometown, my hometown. Randy's going to win this because Randy's kind of that tween guy, and the WWE loves showing us what we've already seen millions and millions of times. Randy Orton will take on John Cena. Maybe AJ Styles gets thrown in there. Maybe Orton has the title for 15 seconds and the Money in the Bank guy cashes in. Maybe the Money in the Bank guy cashes in on Jinder. I don't know. I'm just saying Jinder Mahal doesn't leave St. Louis as the WWE champion. Randy Orton wins this match. I even see Money in the Bank maybe cashed into that Sunday. That brings us to the Money in the Bank matches. Let's break it down. Women first. Alex, you seem to hate women enough. Who wins this match?
I'm still going to stick with Maria Kanellis-Bennett.
Somebody who's not even in the match. Somebody who's not even on the card or even signed to the WWE.
Well, she is signed. That's been confirmed. But
has it been confirmed now?
It's either going to be her or it's going to be Paige or Asuka.
Is that how you pronounce her name, Asuka?
Yes.
Okay, very well. Jaime.
I'm going with Carmella because she's the one most likely to cash in on a weekend champion.
Okay, Dan. We are doing a podcast. Can you not shove your face full of food while you're Carmella? Okay, I want to ask you to explain. Yeah, I see what you're doing there, big guy. All right, y'all are wrong, and let me tell you why. I think Alex, you're probably closest. It's not going to be anybody in the match, but it's going to be somebody in the WWE. It may not even be a woman. You heard it right. I'm going to pick a stupid spot like this to happen. Carmella's down on the ground. Everybody's laid out. Charlotte and Becky climbing the opposite sides of the ladder, rung by rung by rung. James Ellsworth is trying to shake Carmella awake. And they're going rung by rung, and they get to the top of the ladder, and they're slugging it out, and Ellsworth can't wake up Carmella, so you know what he does. Climbs into the ring, pushes the ladder over. Charlotte, Becky go flying through the air, maybe even through a table. The ladder falls back into place, and Ellsworth all alone. Natty's unconscious. Tamina is bleeding. Becky and Charlotte through a table. Carmella is out. And it's just James freaking Ellsworth and a 20-foot ladder. And it's in his reach. And he climbs the ladder. And he's screaming at Carmella, wake up, wake up, wake up. Nothing happens. Crowd's going wild. And James Ellsworth wins the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ultimate Swerve.
Bro, let me tell you something, bro. Let me talk at you, bro. I have this great idea, bro. It's going to be Money in the Bank on a pole match, bro.
Isn't that what Money in the Bank is? Isn't it just a contract on a pole match? It's a glorified contract on a pole match.
I guess from a certain perspective.
That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
Did
Dan,
you take your meds today?
I have not, actually. I took my vitamins, but not my medicine. Damn. How crazy am I for what I just said?
I just asked you a question. Did you take your meds? That should answer that question. Ellsworth is not winning this match. If anything, Ellsworth is going to a table by Becky Lynch.
He's going...
I agree. Ellsworth's gonna get beat.
Ellsworth's going to a table this Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put this side bet out. Who goes through the table first? Who goes through a table, if anybody at all? Who goes through it first?
Ellsworth.
Ellsworth.
I hope Natalia first before Ellsworth.
But are you picking Ellsworth over Natty? Jaime?
No, Natty first.
Okay, so I think Ellsworth's going to go too, because it's going to set up the ultimate moment. Ellsworth is going to go through the table early in the match, and then out of nowhere rise to the biggest heights of a no-chinned man can get to. James Ellsworth will be the women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder.
I love your imagination.
I'm telling you, I should write for the WWE. I should. Anybody out there in Stanford that listens to this podcast, you can come find me.
No, you should not, Vince Russo.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Vince Russo was a visionary. He created Stone Cold Steve Austin. He created The Rock. He created Triple H and Shawn Michaels and D-Generation X and the Sleeper Hold and the Suplex and the ladder match and TLC and Oxygen and Water. He created it. He is responsible for all that good stuff. Moving on. WWE Money in the Bank ladder match. 6 guys. 3 of them never been in it. 2 of them never won it. Dolph Ziggler, the only one to win it. Let me hear your picks. Let's go with Dan first.
Nakamura.
Boo. Alex.
I think this is the first ladder match Nakamura's been in, isn't it? So I don't think they're going to have Nakamura win.
Well, being that Japan doesn't count and the Indies don't count, they're like, you know, nothing. Yeah, this is his first one.
I'm gonna say Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Okay. All right. Jaime?
You know,
That
I'll
was
let you guess who
a
I'm going to pick.
I'll say that was a dumb question. All right. Y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong again. The winner of this match, Dolph Ziggler.
Isn't that the guy who Nakamura said he's going to Japan soon?
Why you
The
gonna
one talking smack?
why you gonna do this to me, Dan?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Week in and week out, you destroy my dreams.
Seriously, Dolph will be huge in Japan.
Apparently, according to Amy Schumer, Dolph is pretty huge now. Oh, it's a dick joke.
Find out.
What's that?
I would like to find out if that is true.
Okay, we got to get to this right now. We've got to get to this.
How big is Batista's dick?
Dan found it on Reddit. The guy did an extensive scientific profile.
Oh, God, that.
And we now have what I feel is a definitive answer as to how big Dave Batista's dick is. Dan, since you found it, I'm not taking it away from you. Go. And as usual, when I set up Dan, and when I make him look good, he doesn't answer, and he makes me look like a fool. You want to try again, Dan, or should I just move on?
He's surely alive.
Dan? Yep, okay.
I don't know. Dan maybe dead.
Dan is dead. He's dead to me, at least, but he's never really been alive to me. Anyway, basically, Batista's dick is somewhere between 8 to 11 inches, from what we have found. Be scientifically 8 to 11. So there's the answer to that. Now, I did a piece on RealSport101.com where we broke down the odds of who would win Money in the Bank. So, Alex, let's go to you. If you picked somebody other than Corbin, who's the next likeliest person to win the briefcase?
Sami Zayn.
No. Okay.
Here's the thing. With Money in the Bank, it's always the person with the worst booking.
They could be argued no. But I can see where you would think that, but when John Cena won it, he certainly wasn't booked terribly.
Well, Cena doesn't count.
16-time world champion, and he doesn't count. Okay, yeah, fine. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be cool. Jaime, if Baron Corbin doesn't win, who does?
I'll go with AJ Styles.
See, I like that pick. But you're wrong. I mean, honestly, I think it's probably a clear-cut shot between the three guys that we've talked about. It's either going to be Dolph, Sammy, or Baron Corbin. But the thing about it is AJ doesn't need the title shot. He doesn't need the career boost. The only reason they would put AJ with the briefcase is because he wants to have it on his resume. You know, I think that's maybe why. Didn't he hold the U.S. title for like a week or something when he first came in? I think that's why that happened. You know, was he, or an Intercontinental? He held one of the secondary belts, I want to say, but the only reason he would be involved in that, like, with the briefcase is if it's just one of those career check marks that all the greats of this era have. I honestly don't think AJ has. He's going to be good for a few decent moves and carrying the match after somebody goes flying off a ladder, but other than that's about it. Anybody want to?
I don't know what you're talking about. He never won any of the secondary belts.
Maybe wasn't he challenging for one though? Didn't he have a feud with Cena or something?
For one.
I don't remember. Concussions have some effect on your memory, and when you have this much knowledge in your brain, when you're this intelligent and have this much to remember like I do, certain things get pushed out. Minor things like AJ Styles' WWE run in his first year just get pushed away, so I apologize for not remembering that the correct way. Now, if you had to pick the longest of the long shots to win, Jaime, who is it?
Sami Zayn.
Okay, so he has no chance of winning is what you're telling me.
Yeah, for me, he's the least interesting character of all the competitors. Like, what does he do with the briefcase? How do you put a story on him holding the briefcase? How do you book him? Do you turn him heel, which is not likely? I don't know.
Okay. Alex?
I want to apologize. I'm driving to these indie shows, doing my due diligence, and sometimes the reception just cuts out when you drive to these flea markets and these bingo halls and stuff, as Ed likes to call them. So let me apologize to all of our fans for not being there when he asked me about Dave Batista's dick.
Wow. Alex, you sound a lot like Dan. I thought I was talking to Alex there, but somehow Dan came through. Alex, let me ask you
I channeled my inner Dan. Don't mind me.
That sounds like something you guys would do on a Saturday night in a bar with a lot of assless chaps. Anyway, who is the longest of the long shots to win Money in the Bank? Who is the one person that will not succeed?
Dolph Ziggler.
Ooh, rough. Dan? You there, Dan?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Give me
Kevin Owens.
your pick to win the match.
Oh, to win the match. That would be Shinsuke Nakamura.
Mark. Okay. Why?
And my, originally my pick was Corbin, but the way they ended SmackDown last Tuesday, with Nakamura at the top taking the case down, I feel like there's been some really bad booking, and that's how the match is going to end as well. I feel like I don't even have to watch the show now, because I honestly feel like that's how the match is going to end. Because that's the first time we've ever seen someone take the case off of the hook before Money in the Bank, if I remember correctly.
No, you don't. You remember so incorrectly. Everybody has done that in the go-home show. And you know what? The person that is standing the highest on the go-home show never wins.
Well, like I said, my original pick was Corbin, so I'll just go back to Corbin then.
You're wrong, just like the other two of you are wrong. And you say Kevin Owens is the one with the longest shot to win.
Yes.
I see that because I think there's 3 guys that really don't need this period. And that's, AJ, Owens, probably Nakamura. Don't really need the shot. I can see Nakamura winning just because it's Nakamura. But Sammy needs it more. Corbin needs it more. I'll even argue that Dolph needs it more than Nakamura because look at what they've done to Dolph. He is now the crybaby veteran that The Miz used to be. He's now the crybaby veteran that Christian used to be. It's sad to see how great Dolph Ziggler is and what he is now. It's rough on me.
Dolph has always been one of my favorite wrestlers. And it is sad to see what they've done to him. That's what I would prefer to see the company. I'd rather see him go work somewhere else.
Well, honestly, he's always been one of my favorites too, except when he was in that, I don't want to call it a relationship because I think it's disrespectful. Whatever he was with Vicky. It was gross.
Yeah.
It was gross.
And how many people did they do that to with Vicky too? Like, God, that's terrible.
Well, it was her and Edge, and then her and Dolph. 2?
Wasn't it her and Kane as well?
No, Kane has forced himself on a lot of women in his time, apparently, which is completely anti what he is in real life. But I don't think Vicky was one of them.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Like I said, when you're this intelligent, when you have this much knowledge in your brain, certain things get pushed out, and things get pushed together. That could be one of those things. I apologize for being so intelligent. But we are now at the halfway point of the podcast. So let's catch up with each other. Dan, what do you got going on as far as your personal life? RealSport101.com. Where can people look forward to hearing from you?
We're going to have some baseball stuff coming up here soon. We're going to be doing the Baltimore Orioles mid-season review, and we're also going to be talking about why Jonathan Scope should be in the All-Star game out of any other Oriole. We're going to have some great wrestling stuff coming up. NXT in Bel Air tonight in Maryland. I will be at that show, so you guys can look forward to a review of that card here tonight. That'll be out here tonight once I get home. So just stay tuned and see what else we got coming down the pipeline.
Okay, 2 things, Dan. You still owe me a shirt from WrestleMania, and which is going to be sadder, the season in review for the Cardinals or for the O's?
the season in review for the Orioles.
Eh.
You don't start out 25-10 and then this happens.
Well, we'll definitely have to compare and contrast because the Cardinal season is equally depressing. I am pushing that off to the very last second to write it because it's going to hurt me deeply. Alex, what's going on with you today, Alex?
Absolutely nothing is going on with me because, hey, guess what? Moving is fun. So, yeah, there's that.
Very well. Jaime, big news in your world of McGregor-Mayweather stuff. Obviously, excuse me, huge news for an MMA guy. What else you writing up there for our lovely website?
Right now, I'm working on an article about Roderick Strong beeping out Sami Zayn to become the next Daniel Bryan, to be the next ultimate underdog. So, as far as my personal life, I'm becoming addicted to CrossFit lately, and I'm trying to get a swimming coach because I plan to enter triathlon. So,
well, hey, good luck with
pretty much it.
Good luck with that. I spent 6 years in the Marine Corps and never knew how to swim, and I hate CrossFit with a fiery passion. But if it works for you, go for it. All right, other things you can look forward to coming down the pike for RealSport101.com, at least coming from me. You can look up my hockey articles. We'll be covering the expansion draft with the incoming Vegas Golden Knights. Also, I'll be working with Dan on some season reviews covering the Cardinals, the Cubs, and the Indians. In the football field, just stay tuned. Big trade. Greg Hardy going from Los Angeles or St. Louis to Detroit. And for the wrestling stuff, I took 12 people from our wrestling section on RealSport101.com and made them vote. Over the next 6 weeks, we will be revealing what is the cause of those votes. As Dan has now hung up on us, I guess he was fed up with everything. So we're going to be revealing the people that missed the votes here later in the show. But for right now, guys, I want to talk to you guys about something that is very near and dear to my heart. Now, you guys know how I feel about Paul Heyman. He's my personal hero. Let me paint this question for you. Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar. It's eventually going to lead to SummerSlam. Whoever wins at Great Balls of Fire, they're going to get their rematch at SummerSlam. Hypothetically speaking, let's say Joe winds up winning the rematch, becomes the Universal Champion, Brock goes away until the Royal Rumble. That leaves us Paul Heyman. He needs somebody. Maybe at SummerSlam, a certain other alter ego from a wrestler comes out. Maybe a king, maybe a demon king comes out, screws over Lesnar. Joe wins the match. Heyman now represents the Demon King. Welcome back, Dan. The Demon King. What is his name? Finn Balor. Finn Balor. He comes back and now is an advocate for the Demon King Finn Balor, who fights Joe, that fans would go ballistic. Balor wouldn't have to talk on the mic. He can have Heyman do it for him. It furthers the Joe and Heyman deal. We get Finn Balor in another main event. They maybe trade the title back and forth until the Rumble, where guess who wins the Rumble? It's Brock Lesnar setting up a WrestleMania match with Paul Heyman caught in the middle, where it's Finn Balor, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman is in there. What do you think? Alex.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I'm like 90% sure Brock has it written into his contract that he never has to do promos ever.
Maybe. How about you, Jaime? What do you think? Is it possible that we see Paul Heyman and the Demon King unite after Brock does his fall going away?
No, because I actually think that there's a huge possibility, if not a small one, that Paul Heyman might turn on Brock Lesnar in favor of Samoa Joe because he feels threatened. He has felt personally the damage Samoa Joe can do. So there's a possibility that he manipulates Samoa Joe into joining him and giving Joe greener pastures in the future.
Well, I guess that's entirely possible, but he never joined forces with Jerry Lawler, and he felt what Lawler could do to him. But, that was 20 years ago, so things changed. Dan, will we see at any point ever in the future Paul Heyman leave the side of Brock Lesnar in favor of either Samoa Joe or Finn Balor?
No.
Care to elaborate, or are we just going to get another one-word answer from you?
There is no elaboration. That's child's play thinking that Heyman's going to leave Lesnar.
Okay. Well,
May I just point something out briefly?
Sure.
Every single time they've put Heyman with anyone other than CM Punk or Brock Lesnar, it has been terrible. I don't know why people keep wanting this. Like, they put him with Cesaro, that was terrible. They put him with Curtis Axel, that was terrible. They put him with, who was the other one? That was terrible.
I don't believe there was another one. Jack Swagger?
Big Show? No, Big Show was his first run.
Jack Swagger?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Jack Swagger?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Jack Swagger.
Well, for one, out of those three guys where it was terrible, only one of them is not terrible. I mean, you could have put God himself next to Curtis Axel, and it wouldn't have gotten over.
I'm sorry, are you trying to tell me that Axel Mania is not still running wild, brother?
I'm telling you, I haven't felt less disinterested for a character than I did for Curtis Axel.
He's still not been eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Wow. Dan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Save me. Say something. Tell me how.
What are you gonna do, brother?
That was
I was the wrong person to go to.
Your service cut that out and distorted your voice perfectly. Like, that was beautiful. That is your comedic moment of the week. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Let's move on to a different topic and greener pastures. As soon as my phone wants to unlock. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, let's talk about some TNA stuff. Jaime, 15 years in the making. You said it was the thing that made you a wrestling fan. Talk to me about Sanjay Dutt being the X Division champion.
Finally, it's vindication for him, and it's what the division needs. You see, guys like Sanjay Dutt, guys like Low-Key, that's what the X Division is all about, not the one that DJZ and Braxton Sutter tried to put up in recently. That's what the X Division is.
Thank you.
Putting the belt on Sanjay Dutt makes sense, and it sets up, storied rivalry with Low-Key, because I believe the first one was just a one-match thing. It didn't go like a long storied rivalry.
Right, and I actually heard a pretty significant rumor that said that before his eye injury, he was actually supposed to win the match that Low-Key wound up winning. That was supposed to be his main return, and when his eye got injured, they put Low-Key in a change during the match and set this whole thing up for Sanjay to win in India, which honestly I think is probably a better story. Dan, did you happen to take in Impact? You know what we're talking about?
I have not been able to catch up on it yet this week, but I did see that Sanjay beat Low-Key. And I am actually really looking forward to watching that match later on today, just because I know what both those guys can do inside the ring.
Well, it is a treat. I wound up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars on my super awesome Impact recap. Dan, I wanted to talk to you about something. Since you didn't watch the show, you missed just horrificness. And that is another 2 segments of television where we were treated to Swoggle versus Rockstar Spud. We saw Swoggle put Spud's face into his bowl of soup, while there were 2 guys in cat masks grooming themselves with their tongues and drinking saucers of milk. Swoggle got up on the table, walked on the table where people are eating, walked on the table over to Spud, grabbed him by the hair, and put him in his bowl of soup, or whatever he was eating. I am angered by this. Not only as a cook and somebody who worked in the food service industry because of what they did to food, but as a wrestling fan in general. Dan, am I completely wrong with my outrage?
No. Impact does like 10 things good, and then they'll do like 5 major things bad that just make you be like, why am I watching this? And that sounds like one.
You know what? Excellent. And Alex, I want to hear you complain about Impact, because Dan said the 10 things good and the 5 things bad, and what are we watching? Jeremy Borash and Joseph Park. Why? Can you explain this to me?
Hold on. Are you trying to tell me that you didn't like the Scott Steiner Skype promo?
Not only did I not like it, it didn't make any sense because, and maybe I'm just behind the times in technology, but Josh Matthews gave Scott Steiner Jeremy Borash's phone number.
Well, Skype.
He said phone number. He said number.
Wow.
Jeremy Borash's phone is ringing, and he answers it on his laptop. Okay? That's implausibility number 1. Implausibility number 2.
Well, Skype does have call forwarding.
Whatever. Do we honestly believe that Scott Steiner is smart enough to know how to use Skype?
Well, he does run a very successful Shoney's, so...
Okay. Sure. I guess it's not that improbable.
If you can just get past how silly it was, I love this promo because it was TNA just embracing the meme, which is what they did with the Broken Hardys, and everyone loved the Broken Hardys. So
I'm sorry, but I do not want to see Joseph Park playing with action figures on national television 2 weeks before Slammiversary. So many things could have been put in that spot. It didn't add anything. It made Scott Steiner look like the crazy, anger, steroid-abused person that he is. It made Jeremy Borash and Joseph Park, a man that was known as Abyss, one of the most feared guys in the entire world of wrestling, is now scared of a 6-inch by 5-inch picture calling him a fat ass on a laptop screen.
Okay, here's the thing. Joe Park is a different character from Abyss, and on top of that, Chris Park, the wrestler, is at the end of his career. He's retiring soon. So what does it even matter?
What does it matter? Because the believability is shot to hell. Why? Why would you do this to Abyss? Why would you agree to do this if you are
Because
Abyss?
they didn't do this to Abyss. It was a different character.
Character schmear, whatever. I don't care. Kayfabe's dead. It died R.I.P. when the first person got the blue check mark on Twitter.
It has nothing to do with kayfabe.
It absolutely has everything to do with kayfabe.
It has everything to do with it being a story. It has everything to do with them trying to tell this story on screen.
Okay, you want to sit there and say, well, Joseph Park is a different person, is a different character than Abyss, and Chris Park's nearing the end of his career. All right, fine. How do you think whoever he wants to go by wants to be remembered? Do you think he wants to be remembered as the big fat lawyer who's scared of Scott Steiner calling him a fat ass? Or do you think he wants to be remembered as Abyss, the psychotic, just animalistic demonic beast of a human that he is, that has terrified millions of people worldwide.
Can't he be remembered as both?
How's that working for Mick Foley?
Pretty goddamn well.
No, it's not. Because all the stuff that Mick Foley did, all the great stuff that he did as Cactus Jack and as Mankind, is kind of overshadowed by the comedic act he was as Dude Love.
Look,
Everyone
And his
loves
reality
Mick
show.
Foley. Everyone loves Mick Foley.
No!
Mick Foley is the king of cheap pops. When you hear Mick Foley's music, you pop.
Everybody loves Mick Foley. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Everybody loves Mick Foley. So when I took a poll of 12 real sport wrestling writers, you know where Mick Foley wound up being ranked? If everybody loves Mick Foley, you'd think he'd be top 15, top 10 maybe. No, he was number 20, and he was even left off a ballot by one of our writers. Not everybody loves Mick Foley. Mick Foley has this legendary aura about him that he can do no wrong, and all the stuff that he did was fantastic. And yes, Mick Foley is an amazing talent, and he was way underutilized in every company he was ever in. But let me tell you something. My numbers are right. Mick Foley is barely a top 20 wrestler all time. He is not that great. His comedic stuff overshadowed the bad stuff in his career. He was a WWE champion 3 times. He should have been a WWE champion 10 times. He was gifted the hardcore title as a joke. The most famous Mick Foley segment, other than him falling off a Hell in the Cell and a tooth sticking out of his nose, is Socko when Stone Cold Steve Austin beat Vince McMahon in a hospital bed with a bedpan because Vince's ankle was broken. That's the most famous Mick Foley segment, and it's terrible. It is a travesty. If you're going to be this feared, this godlike figure, the one that's supposed to strike fear and shame into the hearts of millions of people, you can't be a comedic act too. It doesn't work. That would be like Bray Wyatt coming out next week, and instead of coming out with the Fireflies, he comes out with a lighter and does stand-up comedy. It doesn't work.
Here's all I have to say to you. Liam Neeson can play a badass in Taken, but
It's not the same thing.
It is the same thing. Wrestling is just very athletic acting.
You're right. Okay. Yeah, fine. But you can't compare Joseph Park and Abyss to Liam Neeson. There is a big discrepancy in the talent there. In the equation of talent there.
There's a big discrepancy in talent, but it's the same premise. They can play different characters.
If you can do it, it's fine. But no, Joseph Park can't. Because when he's trying to be funny, it's not. And you can't watch TNA last night. You can't watch Impact Wrestling last night and look me square in the computer screen and tell me that that was funny.
I can, because of Scott Steiner, not because of Jeff Park.
How about the segment before then, where they were looking for a Taekwondo dojo, and they wound up showing up at a Chinese food restaurant and ate Kung Pao chicken? Was that funny?
I admit I laughed a little bit at that.
It was stupid.
Now,
It was stupid. And Dan, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for you, but I hope beyond hope that when you watch this tomorrow, you'll understand my frustration.
I didn't realize Joseph Park was Abyss.
You're bullshitting, right?
where were you? Where were you?
You got to be joking.
Nope. Way to ruin kayfabe.
Well, I told you, kayfabe's been dead since the first person got a blue check mark on Twitter. Kayfabe died that day. Kayfabe died when Hulk Hogan said that Terry Bollea has a penis that is 2 inches smaller than Hulk Hogan's. Kayfabe died during the steroid trial in 1991 where Vince McMahon had to admit in federal court that wrestling was fake. Kayfabe died then. And it's been dead.
Still alive.
No. Kayfabe is dead.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Hold on! You cannot get on me about not knowing Joseph Park was Abyss. Yes, I'm bringing this up, and I think you know where I'm going. You didn't know that wasn't Charlotte's real name.
Okay. So?
I'm just saying.
I mean,
I have a point. I just don't know where I'm going with.
I don't look at Charlotte and see her license, The way you can look at Abyss and then look at Joseph Park and be like, wait a minute. That's like saying I didn't know Marshall Mathers and Eminem were the same person. I didn't know Dwayne Johnson and The Rock were the same person after you see them together. If I'd known...
Abyss wears a mask. Abyss wears a mask. He had his identity hidden.
So did Mick Foley. And we all knew Mankind was Mick Foley.
Mick Foley with Mankind, so you just told me.
Dan, I want to hit you so bad. Anyway, one last thing before we cut an end to this podcast. Now, for those of you that don't know about this, and that's everybody listening because this literally just happened, there were 97 wrestlers. We compiled together a list of 97 people, and Zack Sabre Jr., due to circumstances outside of my control, was left off the list. Sorry. Not sorry. 97 wrestlers we put together, and I asked 12 of our wrestling writers for RealSport101.com to rank them on a scale of 1 to 50. Each first place vote got 51 points, so I could weigh them equally according to where each 50th place vote got 2 points. Now, out of the 97 people that we put on this list, they were all male, by the way, 3 of them received no votes. Carlos Colon, which honestly I feel is a travesty, as is Jack Briscoe, although they did make my personal top 50, and the man that has been talked about several times in this conversation, Scott Steiner. No votes, 12 guys, each guy got 50 votes, so do the math there. That's 600 votes, and none of them received a single one. Anybody shocked by that?
Nope.
I'm a little bit shocked that Scott Steiner didn't get at least one vote.
No, there were a few people that did get votes. But Dan, you know what? You've done pissed me off enough. And you pissed me off enough because I figured you would vote for Steiner, being that you and I are TNA guys, so I'm done with you today. You can just go away. Everybody say goodbye to Dan, because Dan is gone. Bye, Dan.
See ya.
See ya.
Up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Up on Twitter. We all need to rest.
I didn't ask you. Go away. Go away. You've done your part. I fulfilled my obligation to you. Goodbye. Okay. Lex Luger actually got a vote from one of our writers. He got ranked 47th. He finished in 94th place. Other notable names of guys that missed out in the top 50. Bam Bam Bigelow. The Hardy Boys, which were grouped together. Kerry Von Erich, Goldust, Sid Vicious finished in 88th place. The Junkyard Dog, Travesty. I know, Jaime, you had him pretty high. Finished 87th. Mil Mascaras, great Lucha Libre guy. He was actually left off of 10 of 12 ballots. He finished in 84th place. Nature Boy Buddy Rogers was 83rd. He was left off of all but my ballot, and I had him at like 30th. But he didn't make it. He finished in 83rd place. Do we have anybody shocked by these so far?
Yeah, pretty fair.
I'm shocked there were that many people that knew who Mil Mascaras is. But
I think there were that many people that didn't know who he was, being that he didn't get voted on that. Like, he was off 10 of 12 ballots.
Okay, I thought you were saying he was on...
No, off. He did not make it on 10 of 12 in their top 50. Sergeant Slaughter, 79th. You know who finished ahead of Sergeant Slaughter? And you indie marks will love this. Adam Cole, baby. Bobby Roode was 74th. And that's the only reason Bobby Roode was that high was because one of our writers ranked him 20th. Nobody else. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Somebody else did touch Bobby Roode. I think that was Gurr, who was just doing it to screw with me. Thanks, Gurr, if you're listening. I appreciate it. You really made the numbers come out super well. Arn Anderson finished 70th. He actually appeared on 4 ballots. Not very high, though. Booker T, 67th. JBL. Anybody want to take a guess where JBL finished?
I think I voted him in my top 20.
Jaime, yes you did. You had him at 19. So, Alex, where do you think JBL finished?
Somewhere in the 30s.
No, he was outside of the top 60. He finished number 62. You know who finished ahead of him? El Generico. May he rest in peace. El Generico finished 59th.
He's still with those orphans in Mexico.
He died, sir. El Generico is dead, sir. May he rest in peace. Long live El Generico. Anyway, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, and I'm sorry if I pronounce. Well, I'm not sorry if I pronounce his name wrong. Kazuchika Okada. How close was I? I don't care.
You were pretty close.
Yeah.
Okada and Omega finished 54th and 55th. In order, they were a total... Ooh, wow, they were close. They were only 5 points, so they were 5 positions out of the top 50. If somebody would have voted them 5 spots higher or added them to another ballot, they would have been in the top 50. But in large part, that's because one of our esteemed editors for a different sport decided to rank Okada 3rd. Toby, you're awesome. Anyway, anybody want to take a stab on who number 51 was?
Let me guess. Is it an indie guy?
No. Nope.
Santino Marella.
No. I will give you a hint. This man has held the WCW Championship, the WWE Championship, and the ECW Championship.
Whoa.
Big Show.
RVD.
Ooh, no, Jaime, but yes, Alex. It is the Big Show. He finished 51st. He was 6 points out of the 50th spot. That should tell you how close. In fact, Dean Malenko at 58 to Davey Boy Smith at number 50 were separated by an average of 1.5 places per ballot. So that's 14 votes separated those 9 individuals. Big Show missed out by a grand total of 6. So there you have it. Davey Boy Smith is number 50. Big Show missed it by 5 spots. He was actually left off of 7 ballots. But one of our writers did put him in the 23rd spot. Another had him as high as 27. So that is where he sat. Davey Boy Smith, because he was ranked on only 3 ballots, but actually high on those 3 ballots, wound up getting the number 50 spot. So you can see the rankings 50 to 41 next week. We will spend the second half of next week's show breaking down the 50 to 41 spot. A lot of good names, a lot of names that could even rise higher depending on their performance on Sunday. So there's your hint as far as that goes. Jaime, do you have anything you want to say to the people before we sign off?
You pretty much said everything. So, are we going to... Is this a part where we give our Twitter handles?
Sure, go right ahead, buddy.
Okay, so follow me. Still the same, and it will be for good. As it has been since I made it, so it's at the Great JLA.
Okay, at the Great JLA. And as long as we're good with that Twitter handle, Jaime, I want to make sure that we get the right credit to the right person. Alex, what do you got going on? You want to say anything to the people before we say sayonara?
Follow me at Official Unfunny on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Blah blah blah, etc. etc. Don't follow anyone else who isn't me, because I'm the best. I'm the bestest.
You're just the best. I'm the greatest.
Yeah, well, I am the master of the universe. Anyway, we're going to say sayonara, but we want to leave you with this, folks. Just like the title contender keeps going rung by rung in hopes of getting where they want to go, and that's holding that Money in the Bank briefcase, we want to remind everybody to just take life rung by rung, and hopefully the ladder doesn't get pushed over and you straddle the top rope. For all of us here at the Caps, Locks, and Chair Shots podcast, Jaime and Alex together have just 2 words for you.
Keep listening.
Close enough.